Hello there, everybody. It's Argent. So we'll start in a couple minutes. I just figured I'd do this so people could show up. So this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, actually, because this was like, now that Beckloff isn't doing Beckloff's Outpost anymore, I feel I kind of like need to take up the reins. And if Aurini does something like particularly retarded, it's just for fun. I think a lot of people don't get how like making fun of people on the internet works. Like, there's a bunch of people who frequently will post on like the videos I've done about Classic Game Room, where people will be, oh, why are you so angry? You sound like a bitter ex-girlfriend, or something like that. And it's like, no, like, it doesn't bother me. I just find it really, it's just funny. Like a dude going to like make videos where he reviews erasers, I think is funny. Like, it's not that I'm angry about it. I'm not angry about DSP or any of that stuff. It's like an ASMR stream. Let's see here. Let's say hi to some regulars. Hello, Torture Room. This is going to be a Torture Room. 4 Club says it's another LOLcow episode. I'm doing pretty well, actually. Things are going okay at work. I just made myself a huge pot of burrito mix, which I'll be eating all week, so that's going to be good. Yeah, I've just been busy with school because I'm doing my master's degree. So I was thinking about it, so that'll probably take me like 4 years because I'm doing one course at a time while I'm in working. But I'm sure it'll pay off at the end of it. I've always wanted to do a master's, and it'll probably help me in my career get to the next level, as it were. But it is a lot of work. Even doing one course a semester is still like, I don't know, like 6 to 8 hours of work a week, which kind of adds up, but whatever. Sam Squatch says you should get some food and water prepared before the Chinese death plague. I have actually been getting some food ready. I have a bunch of canned goods. I have I have some boxes of crackers. I have a lot of ramen. I think at the moment I have about 8 to 10 liters of water. I should probably get some more. I'm trying to get about enough for like 2 weeks or something like that. What career do I have? I don't talk about my career. That's not... It's just something I don't talk about. It's probably better if I leave certain personal details like that out of the public eye. But all I will say is I do work in a white-collar professional job. I don't live out in the farm, as it were. So, for those of you who haven't been keeping up with our buddy Aurini, so after his channel got nuked, which I like, once again, I was very like supportive when it initially happened. What YouTube did to him is complete bullshit. The whole thing is just. I was against that. I was very much against that. I thought it was a travesty. But since then, he's moved over to Twitch, and he's just gotten crazier and crazier. There's a guy he had on... Oh, what's his name again? He's this rad trad who talks about how the Catholic Church should have destroyed the Bible. And he had that dude on recently. What's his name again? Laramie Hirsch. Yeah, he had Laramie Hirsch on, who talks about how the Catholic Church should have destroyed the Bible because that would have prevented Protestantism from forming. But, like, yeah, so on that stream, he claimed that, like, Epstein directly paid the people who were fucking with him. So, like, I think he implied that Beckloff, like, was paid by Jeremy Epstein to, like, Jeremy Epstein was, like, because he was being that successful that, like, or is it Jeffrey Epstein? I get them mixed up. Whatever. Some guy who was involved in kitty trafficking. Aurini was like blowing that shit wide open, and he was such a threat that they, the power structure like George Soros had to take him down. That kind of thing. Oh no, Aurini's a radical is a rad trad Catholic. He's a rad trad Catholic who, like, supports... He supported pornography in the past. When Hugh Hefner died, I think he said everyone who didn't like Hugh Hefner was an incel. He has some very weird positions on a lot of things, which I'm sure we'll get into. This one's funny because, this was a 7-hour stream. We aren't going to go the whole 7 hours, but to do a 7-hour stream of just him ranting is fascinating. There's also the issue that, like, this is another thing in projection. Like, everything Aurini does is just amazing projection. So, I don't actually have the video for Gamma's Rise Up. Hat tip, Luke. So Luke just sent me the audio for it because it was too big for him to upload the full thing to Google Drive. So for the video for this, we're just going to be using the video footage from like one of his more recent videos and the audio from the old one, and it doesn't really matter. So let's just get this started. So I'll start the video and then we'll start the audio. Let me know if the balance is okay. Like, it's really sad because this dude used to have like 12,000 subs, and now he can get maybe 10 people on stream. Okay, I'm just going to skip past some of this shit. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Okay. Keep in mind, Aurini has repeatedly said that, like, oh, no audio? Oh. Oh, thank you. Okay. Okay, I forgot to unmute that boomer stuff.
I know what I'll talk about. Guys, I found this YouTube channel. It's Oxhorn is his name, and he's got some playthroughs of the original Fallouts, Fallout 1 and 2, which they're really well done, really well narrated. He explains like the possibilities, the RPG possibilities. The charming guy.
That's his high.
So if you're kind of curious as to the story of those games, but you just don't have the stomach for 20-year-old gameplay, go check out his channel. He's just seems like a nice guy, just like the guy.
Keep in mind, Aurini used to like bully people constantly who played video games and like said they were degenerates and stuff like that, but he's fucking obsessed with Fallout for some reason.
Charming, he does good narration, he puts a lot of work into this stuff.
He's kind of like me, he's very handsome.
I was kind of just vegging yesterday watching a few of his videos. Worst things that you could be watching on the internet. Well, I covered 30 seconds.
Yes!
What else can we talk about? Vacuum today, Space Dog. I didn't think she'd shed a lot, but she sheds a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why he calls his dog Space Dog. It's his obsession with trying to make it a meme.
Just took her for a little drive to the store, so she's in a really good mood right now. She's quite happy. Got an egg on her kibble earlier, and a little bit of cheese. So she's having a pretty good day. And looks like it says we've got one viewer right now. Oh, guys, please confirm if the audio is bad. There's audio problems.
By the way, I know I'm using a different video, but this is like what his streams look like. From what people tell me, he's too cheap to, he's so broke he doesn't have money for electricity, which is why he streams in the dark. And he wears sunglasses because those are prescription, and he's too cheap to get like actual normal glasses.
Tell me about it. Might be something I can do. Anyway, this stream, it's going to be about the rise of gamma males, the rampant spread of gamma male behavior that we're seeing everywhere. Oh, hey, Mi Cheng, good to have you here. Guess what? I was just chatting with our mutual friend Chad. He's got no idea what's going on. So, I don't know, a holding pattern, man. What can I say? I'm here, I'm prime, just give me a target. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Okay, we're going to get into some...
So, gamma males are becoming increasingly common. Specifically on the internet. I think the internet is what's doing it. It's what's responsible for breeding the...
Spoiler alert, Aurini is like one of the ultimate gamma males, but we'll get into that in a minute.
These creeps. But suppose, and good day Elijah, suppose I should start out by explaining what a gamma male is. And I'm going to use myself as an example. How if I were gamma, what my response to things would be.
I love this! If I were a gamma, already you're like the ultimate gamma. Okay, so gamma is something that Vox Day made up with his like socio-sexual hierarchy. So a gamma is someone who's like above average intelligence, but doesn't have a lot of agency. So they tend to be an underachiever relative to their intelligence. But they also have a superiority complex, and they feel like they're owed something by society. So, like Elliot Rogers is like the ultimate gamma male. Most incels are gamma males. Something like that.
So I have frequently been referred to as the hidden secret of the manosphere.
Oh, that is cringe.
You know, back in the day. Hey, placebo cocaine, got you too. That's awesome. David Aurini, the hidden secret of the manosphere. I've seen ideas that I originate trickle out to various places, and I know that I've been influential with a lot of people who wound up being a lot more popular than me. Now, of course, we all want popularity. We all want to be liked. Okay, that's normal human desire to be liked, to be popular. Actually, it's an important thing of letting go of. Right, like being liked is good, but you can't be thirsty for popularity. A friend of mine, we were just discussing this, and he referred to it as...
he has friends?
You need to be able to love indifferently. Which is something we're all working on things. But the difference is that gammas feel entitled. So, for me, like I've largely... Like, I'm not really doing the internet thing. Anyway, I know
I'm not doing the internet thing. That's why I have a fucking 7-hour stream.
I still stream. Some of you guys are still good enough to toss me a few shekels there on Patreon. But it's not... It's a tip jar. It's busking on the weekends while I got my day job that actually pays the bill.
And he doesn't, I don't think he has his videos backed up. So don't worry, we're not going to be watching this for 7 hours.
Basically, I don't really care if I get, in fact, I kind of prefer if I didn't get super popular. Like, I think I honestly would, it would be really irritating if I got super popular again. To have to reevaluate a bunch of BS and, just busking on the street corner. See, if you get into a band, now you've got the band politics. Now you need to be booking events. Now you need to buy a station wagon to fit the drum equipment in. Whereas if I'm just busking on the street corner and I make a few shekels doing it, all good. All good. But so, back when I was doing the internet thing pretty seriously, it could be frustrating that I wasn't more popular. And so, I'd sit back and think about it, and I think, maybe part of the reason is I tend to do some pretty complex ideas in Evening Cobb. And I think other guys can take kind of the fruits of those ideas and simplify it. I mean, the extreme example, look at Sargon of Akkad, that just took the entire manosphere, the entire dissident right, and simplified it into liberalism for the mass audience.
What the fuck is he talking about?
And that kind of is what it is.
Is he DSP now? By the way, 90% of Sigma males are like bullshit. There are actually Sigma males. I'd say like Isaac Newton was a Sigma male. Jim is a Sigma male, I'd say. For those of you who aren't aware, a Sigma male is a male who is an alpha but is like an introvert and a loner and doesn't really give a fuck about anyone else. I guess James Bond would kind of be a Sigma male too. No, the resurrection is coming. The reason why he wears sunglasses in a dark room is because he only has one pair of prescription glasses, and they happen to be sunglasses, and he doesn't have the money to pay for electricity.
Now, a Gamma in that position, right, where they feel that they're not getting... So, like, I have to look at, was I not getting the credit? Well, maybe I wasn't getting the credit, but it's, if Black Pigeon Speaks is great visuals. I have a webcam in a very dark apartment. QED. Do I feel like doing better visuals? You know what? No, I really don't feel like doing better visuals. So it is what it is.
But I digress.
What a Gamma does, because Gammas are the secret kings. They feel
What the fuck? Gammas are the secret
entitled to having so much admiration and acknowledgement and power that when they don't get it, they feel like they've been betrayed by God. Right? They are absolutely furious. And so if I were a Gamma, like 5 years ago, and I was upset that I wasn't as popular as I thought I should.
Aurini, that's what this whole fucking stream is you bitching about not being popular.
Should be. What I'd do is I would take somebody that was more popular than me, and I would make up a reason, an excuse in my mind to hate them.
This is a Davis-only stream. I'll do someone else.
Bob says, was that Irish cream you were drinking at Christmas? Yes, I usually have some. It was off-brand Irish cream, but it was still pretty darn good. And Elijah's nailing it. They don't want to earn it. They don't want to... Typically, we talk about Gammas with women. Now, women like the alpha male. So the manospheres are back and said, okay, what do women like about the alpha male? What is it that they like about him? And how can I change myself? How can I improve myself to be the sort of guy women like? Gammas look at the alpha male and say, that guy is taking advantage of the women. He's exploiting the women. He is, what if they come up with a massive conspiracy theory about what the alpha is really doing, so that they can hate him, so they can just secretly loathe him, and they can, in their own mind, they can be morally superior to him.
This all sounds very, very familiar.
So, with the whole internet popularity contest, if I were a Gamma, what I would have done is I would have looked at somebody else that was...
like Beckloff or Forney or...
more popular than me. I would have looked at maybe Roosh, for example, and said...
No, you're too busy sucking Roosh's cock.
Because, Roosh has done quite a bit writing about the nature of the culture war. And I'd look at Roosh and say, well, he's not really fighting for the culture war. He's just selling books about getting laid. He's appealing to prurient interest. And so I would turn him into my...
River Run says Christ is risen. I don't think Christ rises for a while, but till Easter, but God bless. Every day is a good day to talk about Christ rising from the dead. I might do a video about Lent, because I actually have had some successes. If you'll forgive the TMI, this Lent is a 1-year anniversary since I've stopped engaging in a certain behavior that a lot of young males engage in, and it was probably one of the best decisions of my life. I stopped that for last Lent, and I just never got back into it.
Enemy. Because how dare he be more popular than me? That is what the Gamma would have thought. Oh yeah, I always put the Irish cream on.
I was referencing porn, by the way.
The rocks, by the way.
Okay.
I like it. I like most of my liquor watered down a little bit. That way I'm hydrating at the same time as I'm drinking.
What the fuck?
Speaking of, that's enough frickin' coffee. Let's get this thing fired up, folks.
I remember the most pathetic thing ever was during his Christmas stream. He was really happy that the liquor store was open, and he referred to alcohol as his main hobby. What a muppet.
So that's the Gamma. The Gamma is somebody who imagines they're a lot more important than they actually are. And when reality conflicts with that self-image, they become spiteful and resentful. When you drink Scottish single malts, you'll change your mind. Maybe.
Okay, I gotta go back. Okay, let's go back.
And when reality
Okay.
So that's the Gamma. The Gamma is somebody who imagines they're a lot more important than they actually are. And when reality conflicts with that self-image, they become spiteful and resentful. When you drink Scottish single malts, you'll change your mind. Maybe. You need to make a lot more money first.
Oh, that wasn't even like me fully laughing. I don't know if I have it recorded me fully laughing. I have like a hyena laugh, which I got from my father, who also has that.
Now, when you and I look at the Gamma, the reason he's unaccomplished is completely obvious to us. Like, the reason he can't get a date is because he's fat and slovenly, and he talks about Mega Man video games on the date, and etc.
Yes! Mega Man! See, he can't let the feud with Beckloff go, because Beckloff like got a Mega Man amiibo, and because he had a Mega Man amiibo, he's like obsessed with calling like Beckloff the Mega Man guy. So he's like bringing it up, and he's still salty that Beckloff made fun of him.
Obvious. It's absolutely obvious to us, right? And he'll get into these debates with people, and it's just absolutely transparent to the rest of us that he's posturing, right? It doesn't. There's no firmly held conviction here. Like, the reason he's pro-pornography is because he thinks being pro-pornography, like pretending to be this enlightened Renaissance man of pornography, means he's going to get laid with porn stars. No,
yeah, but you're pro-pornography, Aurini. Like, you have said in the past that you're pro-porno. Like, obviously he's attacking Beckloff here, but this is like the most projection I've ever heard from him. Let's just listen to that again.
That he's posturing, right? It doesn't. There's no firmly held conviction here. Like, the reason he's pro-pornography.
Yeah, but dude, you've been through everything. You used to be like a classical liberal, then you were a monarchist, then you were like an atheist, then you were a trad cat, then you were neo-pagan. Now you're back to being a trad cat.
Is because he thinks being pro-pornography, like pretending to be this enlightened Renaissance man of pornography, means he's going to get laid with porn stars. No, the reality is the porn stars sleep with guys like me, right? They make money off of gamma males, but they sleep with guys like me.
Sleep with guys like me. This is just after he said this is just posturing. You think you're more important than you are, and you think you're better than you are.
Not that I go out of my way to sleep with porn stars. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's extremely self-centered, right? It's instead of changing themselves to fit the world, they're demanding the world change to fit them. Copenhagen says, "Are we talking about Roosh?" No. Roosh is not a gamma man.
Okay. They demand that the world changes to fit them. Well, that's like what you are doing. Isn't that like what this is? That you refuse to go back to YouTube and you're sitting on a platform where like 5 people are watching you?
I'll just give you an example that, like, if I were a gamma, because I kind of move in the same circles as Roosh, if I were a gamma, I would be jealous of Roosh. Yeah, and I would manufacture, I'd come up with an excuse to hate him. When the real reason I'd hate him is because he was more popular than me.
No, well, you suck his cock to try to get his popularity.
Reality is I'm not like that. I don't hate him. Roosh is going to do what Roosh is going to do. I mean, I haven't met him in person. I consider him a friend. Is he a perfect human being? No. Is he the second coming of Christ? No.
Talking about
Are there things that I could criticize about him? Sure. I'm not going to criticize him in public, though. What's the point of that? I'm sure you guys got criticisms of Roosh. Yeah, he's not a perfect human being. But
yeah, because he promoted degenerate shit for years. Like, what the fuck kind of logic is that? When he was writing like his banged Iceland, thank you, River Run. Porn stars only sleep with guys like me. Like, is that what you want? You want to get fucking STDs from those thoughts? Like,
Roosh is going to do what Roosh is going to do.
1 second.
I'm not his daddy.
You want to be though. You really, really want.
I mean, gammas rise up. And, Comptonazo says, what happened to the times when they were just alphas and betas? I'm going to advance something to the understanding of gamma.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. In the sociosexual hierarchy, I'm a delta male, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy.
I don't know that gamma is best understood as a position on the sociosexual hierarchy. Because I'm going to be getting to, we're actually going to be talking about some events that are going on right now. But these events, I was looking at the gammas, and the gammas in question are actually betas. Whereas the gamma I dealt with was an omega. So I think gamma, in a way, gamma is just an unsuccessful narcissist, essentially. See, guys, here's the problem with psychology, is that when all of psychology is all about trying to identify distinct, disordered behavior patterns. And behavior patterns exist within cultural contexts.
Now, to be honest, I actually do kind of like Vox Day's sociosexual. It actually kind of does make sense. Made up to place himself at the top of it. So, yeah.
So when you examine, you take the DSM-3, probably the best one written yet, and you go over to Asia and start trying to use the DSM-3, you're going to find completely different...
I mean, like, gamma is a real thing, or at least, like, that general type of person. I've seen a lot of them.
...rates of mental illness than you would in North America, because it's all context dependent. Humans are beings with agency. And the problem is, once you isolate something...
I'm going to change this over to another...
Once you define somebody, they immediately change what they are. Because people hate being labeled. So they still have the same underlying issue, but the way it manifests is different. So what is gamma? It's like, guys, it's a term. We're labeling a particular group of behavior with this. Typically, women are absolutely disgusted by gammas, and gammas think they're very popular with women. However, there are principled exceptions.
Women are disgusted by gammas, and gammas think they're popular with women. But remember, guys, all the porn stars have sex with guys like me.
Of gammas that are married. So, at the end of the day, a gamma is somebody that has an extreme sense of self-importance and an extreme sense of entitlement, and they're willing to twist reality to seek vengeance against those that they feel have wronged them by not acknowledging their secret authority.
Holy fuck. No, that's because the video is like, I don't actually have the audio. Sorry, I don't have the video that goes with this audio, but all his video is the same, so I'm just putting a random video of him rambling on in the background. The audio I'm running from someplace else. Let's just listen to this again, because this is like...
Willing amazing. To twist reality.
This is amazing.
At the end of the day, a gamma is somebody that has an extreme sense of self-importance and an extreme sense of entitlement, and they're willing to twist reality to seek vengeance against those that they feel have wronged them by not acknowledging their secret authority.
You might not want to go down this road.
And the weird thing is that the other aspect, like, you don't want to dig too deep into this. Alphas just completely roll their eyes at gammas. They like, oh my god, wait, can you believe what this clown is doing? Where sigmas just absolutely hate gammas. And again, sigma's a little bit of a loose term, Alright, Sigma is confident but more choleric. Alphas are relaxed, Sigmas are argumentative. And so something about Gammas just really, really triggers us Sigmas.
Oh, Sigmas! Yes! You're definitely a Sigma male, Aurini.
You know, and Vox is definitely a Sigma. Owen has some traits of a Sigma. Like, we just absolutely can't stand these little creeps.
This is something Beckloff pointed out, which is very true. If you notice, every single thing Aurini talks about is why he should be the one running society.
See, just catching up with comments here. Rather date an ugly chick than a porn star. Yeah, probably a wise idea. Beauty's only a light switch away, after all.
Wow, that's classy.
Yeah, Sigmas, I think that's it. Sigmas are really irritated by how fake the social order is. And Gammas pretend to be irritated by... They pretend not to care when they desperately care. Sigmas are very argumentative, and we just pursue... We pursue our own ends, which is, you know, like, I care about...
But remember, guys, he doesn't care. He just pretends... No, wait. He doesn't care. He's not pretending he doesn't care. I don't know.
The truth. I pursue the truth regardless of what's politically correct. And so I argue... Like, Sigmas argue.
Gammas argue.
And so do Gammas, but they argue because they want to be popular, but they do it in such a stupid way. It's like, listen, if you care about being popular, then go be fucking popular, asshole. Don't pretend to be a Sigma. And yes,
don't pretend to be a Sigma. Okay.
Sigma is not a good thing to be, fellows. Okay, it's
a burden.
You fucking suck.
It's a burden to be as great as I am. Because I should be the one running society and not Chad.
We are going to get to the situation now. Now that we've defined Gamma, and that only took, what, 15 frickin' minutes? We are going to get to the situation that is occurring. And now this is a glimpse into what's happening in the wider culture. We're going to talk about one particular incident, but this is not an isolated incident. And to start it off, to point out the severity of this situation, Owen Benjamin was swatted a couple nights ago.
Here, I'm going to switch this over.
A creepy little Gamma troll.
Oh, he doesn't have video for this. Okay.
Swatted Owen Benjamin's house. Thankfully, everybody is okay. Owen's okay, Amy's okay, the kids are okay. Cops figured out what was going on pretty quickly. But that's the severity that we're talking about. Swatting. And this was not an SJW that did this. Okay, this was not one of Owen's, not some left-wing freak that did this. This is somebody that used to be one of Owen's fans. This is somebody that would probably call themselves a Christian, probably say they were right-wing, probably a Donald Trump supporter.
So what you're saying is Beckloff that was the guy who did it.
This is somebody that should be one of us, and they swatted Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, because he's probably a fruitcake.
Placebo Cocaine says, what world do you live in where everyone is such a cunt? And this is what we're getting to, guys. This is what the internet has been doing. But let me tell you the story. Let's talk about how this came...
I mean, the real bad thing is that we live in a world where Aurini is not in charge of everything.
Came about.
Yeah, Mega Man did it.
God. Okay, this is going to be difficult. I'm going to try and... This is going to be so tedious, guys. So tedious. Bear with me. Yeah. I'm giving you the truncated version.
The truncated version.
So, there were a few individuals that got really angry at Owen Benjamin. They used to be his fans, but then they were angry at him. We will get to why that is afterwards.
Honestly, I don't even know who Owen Benjamin is. I hear that name from time to time, but I have no
So you have these individuals that are angry at him. These individuals now need an excuse to be angry at him. And so the excuse that they drummed up is that Owen Benjamin and Vox Day have been putting together unauthorized.tv. If you don't know what that is, because of all the censorship going on YouTube, they are trying to build their own video hosting site.
That sounds like a really bad idea.
And they want to get comments enabled on it. Right now it's a website, and they are currently hosting videos through Vimeo. But they've got videos. They're putting out live streams every single day. There's a ton of content on unauthorized.tv. It's maybe not where Vox wants it to be.
Yeah.
But they're putting out content and they're creating this channel. So the reason that these guys are angry at Vox Day now, because he's connected with Owen Benjamin, they are accusing Vox Day of being a fraudulent scam artist. Because unauthorized TV is not everything he wanted it to be at the present moment.
I'll be back.
And see, now this is, by the way, it's taken me so long to explain this. This is the part of the problem with these guys, because you have to get into the weeds. At the end of the day, Vox has accomplished a lot of stuff in his life. He's written books, he started Archive and Publishing, he's done comic books, he did video games way back when, and now he's doing unauthorized TV, and he writes books that are very insightful. He's not a scam artist.
Why do you keep trying to attach yourself to people who are like way more popular than you? It's almost like you're a gamma.
But the thing is, like, when you get into the weeds, it's like, well, technically, this was what the problem was. You get into the weeds with these people, and it takes longer to explain the issue. It's so much easier when you see Vox Day and them are fighting, and just say, oh, they're both assholes. These guys are manufacturing reasons to be angry at these guys. And they're throwing out libelous terms, like scam artist. That you cannot go online and call somebody a scam artist. That's libel. It's illegal.
Is it?
You're harming their reputation. You're acting as a vandal. But these guys would respond, oh, it's just words on the internet, man. Just jokes, just bants. Don't be butt mad. Dude, when you attack somebody's reputation, I would rather get punched in the face than have malicious lies spread about me. Because my face will heal in a couple of days. When you damage somebody's reputation, that can take years to recover. Believe me, I have been through that. So this is a little bit personal for me, you know. Like, look at what happened when the Sarkeesian effect blew up, and Thunderfoot decided to spread a bunch of lies about me. He had a larger platform than me, and I couldn't afford a lawyer like Vox can.
Isn't Thunderfoot like a massive dude? I don't even know who like half these people are. I was never involved in the skeptic community, so I don't know who any of these people are.
Furthermore, these guys aren't just libeling Vox. They aren't just defaming his character. They're not just engaging in torturous
Torturous
whatever.
interference.
When these guys go on the live stream and they start kicking dirt up, right? They'll post Vox Day's, his dark stream, they call it the dork stream, and they say, this is so cringe, this is so funny, this is so stupid, let's all laugh at Vox Day. And they'll just kick stuff up. Like, there's not really anything to laugh about. I mean, if that's your standard for cringe, then we're all cringe. Like, there's no... he's not shitting his pants in public, okay, guys?
He's so obsessed with Beckloff, because that's what Beckloff used. Like, he uses the same terminology.
But you kick all of this stuff up, and you get all these fellow internet losers wound up. And in the process, you've got people trying to hack Vox's website. You now have people swatting Owen Benjamin. You have people phoning up businesses in Owen Benjamin's town, pretending to be him and harassing the businesses.
Hey, that fucking happened to me.
The guy that's doing the live stream, he's like, well, I didn't tell anybody. No, but you kicked up the dirt. You manufactured this whole ugly situation. And yeah, guys, freedom of speech comes with responsibilities.
I'm sure, like, he would say what I'm doing is doing that. I don't think I've told anybody to, like... Actually, I'm 100% sure I've never told anybody to, like, troll Aurini or fuck with him or whatever. Don't do that. I've told people, like, not to fuck with DSP or, like, troll him or whatever. It's just, like, if he's going to put out public content, then I have a right to laugh at it. If Aurini left the internet tomorrow and didn't put anything up, I wouldn't have anything to talk about. So, like, yeah.
But these GAMMAS completely... they refuse to acknowledge any responsibility. Even if... oh, but, like, again, the reason they call him a scam artist is they're looking for a reason to attack him. But even if...
I refuse... like, Aurini still thinks the fact that everybody turned their back on him is not his fault at all. Is not because he did something like he did something to piss people off, or he had an unpleasant personality. Like, he can't interpret that. So earlier in my life, I've lost a lot of friends multiple times in my life. And some of that was just when I became a Christian, and a lot of my former friends were shit libs. But also part of it was I had untreated bipolar at the time, and I was just kind of... I was like a gamma male, I guess you could say. I had a huge superiority complex. I thought everyone was stupid. I thought I should be the one running society. I thought, like, all of that kind of stuff. And I blamed everybody else for my personal failings. But I've been through therapy, and I'm a lot better now than I used to be. Like, just admit that you fucked up. Like people will generally forgive you if you admit you fucked up. Like, because everybody's been there. Everybody's gone through a period where they made themselves look like an ass in public, or they were an asshole, or something like that's happened to all of us. I'm sure everybody in the chat has had that happen. But you just have to just say, I fucked up. I let my ego go. But he can't do that because he's a narcissist.
You pretend that this isn't a manufactured bullshit excuse to attack Vox Day, and through him Owen Benjamin. That's not how you deal with it. See the difference.
Although, to be fair, in like retrospect, during that period of my life, I was on this medication that like made me completely fucking manic all the time.
These guys and Medicare. If you watched Medicare do the breakdown of Channel Awesome, he was actually very fair in it.
Yeah, he was.
Now, he's doing it with the same smarmy attitude, but he doesn't libel them. He shows their side of things. It's actually kind of heartbreaking. Whereas what these guys are doing, they're snarking. They're sitting in the seat of scoffers.
And you're bitching about it.
And then they're trying to say it's just words. Have you ever heard the saying that the pen is mightier than the sword? Words are far more dangerous.
You know, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Because I think, like, everybody, when people start... Because, I mean, if you're a YouTuber or whoever, you're eventually going to get some people who don't like you. And they're going to, like, insult you in the comment section. And, I mean, they have a right to their opinion, whatever. But, like, I'm not going to pretend it doesn't affect me. I think anybody who says they don't care what other people think is lying. There are people who care less about what other people think. But if you have a bunch of people, like, just say you're an asshole, you're a piece of shit, you're, like, the worst guy, that does hurt. So I used to fight with people in the comments section over stuff like that. But the easiest thing to do is just ignore them. Just don't post a response to them. Like, just, and they just go away most of the time. That generally works. If DSP didn't rant about the trolls every stream, people would probably, like, get bored and move on.
Dangerous than blows. Now let's rewind a little.
I'm going to give you guys a piece of life advice. This is one of the hardest things that you can learn in life. It's one of the hardest things to do. But if you can figure it out and you can start doing this, it'll help you out. And just your life will get better. You have to learn how to take the L, as it were. To take the loss. You have to learn to, like, go, I fucked up. And just go, okay, I fucked up. Let's just move forward. That was stupid of me. And this is if it's, like, at work or in your personal life or whatever. Like, just ignore the whole sunken cost fallacy, whatever. Just go, look, guys, that was a mistake. And if I get fired or if, like, somebody doesn't like me anymore or whatever, those are just the consequences, but I'm not going to run away from it.
A little bit. Let's go back to the beginning of it. These people are angry at Owen Benjamin. Why are they angry at Owen Benjamin? What the hell did he do to them? And yeah, a lot of you nailed it. Words have consequences. What is Owen Benjamin? Owen Benjamin.
Who is Owen Benjamin? Let's find out.
Benjamin is a guy with a wife and a farm and some kids and some goats who's a really good musician, and he's a funny comedian. And he likes to talk about bullshit on the internet. He's a lot like me, just a guy that likes to talk about shit on the internet.
Whoa, I thought you said words heard and you shouldn't talk about shit on the internet and stuff like that. I'm confused. Oh, right, I haven't done this in a while.
It's not fully lit. Now, one of Owen Benjamin's gimmicks is he does the bears, right? All of his fans, they get nicknamed Mama Bear and Droopy Bear and whatever. And he's the big bear. It's just a gimmick. Doesn't mean anything. It's just a gimmick, just a little inside joke. But some people take this stuff so incredibly seriously. And they take Owen Benjamin and they elevate him to some sort of godhood. I have a friend. The guy's enormous, right? Guy looks like he looks like a stereotypical bouncer at a biker bar. Okay. Actually, a deeply pious man as well. He scares people at church all the time. But anyway, this guy had a friend. He had this skinny little twerp that he knew, right? And this skinny little twerp, he would draw comic books about my friend being like this uber alpha male. Like what's the guy from God of War? He'd draw these comic books like that, except he had like a 3-foot long dick and he was banging women all the time, and it was really freaking creepy. Really creepy.
What is he even talking about?
This where he's like transposed his sexual urges onto my buddy to vicariously live through imaginary sexual adventures that my buddy never had.
Isn't that exactly what you did with...
Yeah, he was like Kratos except of sex.
Isn't that like something that Roosh did? Like, doesn't he live vicariously through like the fake stories Roosh put in book form?
And it was really creepy. Well, it's like, dude, just because... And like my buddy would say, like, dude, just because I'm an intimidating biker-looking fellow doesn't mean I murder all the gods of Olympus and steal their womenfolk. My buddy's the church guy, not the guy that was obsessing over him. Fleekerin, whatever. Fleeman says, Hank Moody from Californication. Could you expand upon what you're getting at right there? So that's the thing, is so many people, it's like they think they live in the Marvel universe, good guys and bad guys, right? Or like professional wrestling with the faces and the heels, except the faces never die and the heels never die. Same thing with Marvel, the good guys never die, bad guys never die. Like, they always get resurrected.
Yeah, they do.
Is that what the internet is? That all of us, like, we are just avatars for Marvel comic book drama, where we fight with other people on the internet, but nobody ever goes anywhere, nobody ever dies. So they looked at Owen Benjamin like their version of Kratos. Right? They worship him like a pagan god. The same way that Britney Spears fans...
What the fuck?
...worshipped her. And every single one of these fans believes that they are the chosen son of their god, Owen Benjamin. And one day, Owen Benjamin is going to acknowledge them and lift them up.
Do people want me to do another Arjot Guard stream where I like pretend to be Aurini and I just talk about nonsense for like an hour and a half? I kind of want to do another one of those.
And they will be his homoerotic Batman sidekick, and they will have super amounts of power all over the internet. Like, Owen has no power, guys. He's got power over his goats, and he just built a hot tub. That's the power Owen. But he is but a man. But all of these gammas, or all of these broken people, imagine that he's a god, and that they're going to be lifted up in his adopted son.
No, he's obsessed with Marvel because he's still obsessed with Beckloff.
Fleekrin, keep expanding. I'm not quite catching. Like, I know Hank Moody, and I think I'm not quite grasping it. You got something going there, though.
This dude thinks he's Hank Moody.
So what happens? Because they think he's a god, and then he does something that fundamentally disappoints them. Because they imagine he's perfect. Now, these are people that are heavily demonically infested.
What?
Their version of... Again, the guy that thinks... Going back to my buddy, the church guy, the nerdy comic book guy that wants church guy to just lay pipe 24/7. He thinks that is perfection. He thinks that is heroism. When it's... No, that's a really lame, sad teenage sex fantasy.
He's so obsessed with fucking backlog. Like, okay, I don't want to go there, but I'm going to go there. Do you think he has, like, a sexual fantasies about backlog? Because he's, like, he's obsessed with it. This whole stream is just him complaining about how backlog made fun of him.
What happens to these hero worshippers? They have an image of perfection in their head. It's a completely nonsense idea. And they've built Owen Benjamin up to be this hero that he's not, and he never said he was. And then he violates that presumption of who he is. And they now hate him. Because they still love him. By the way, enemies that love you are the absolute worst because they just won't go away. So,
and you know that every one of the people who went after me, they went after me because they know that I'm the one who should be running society.
Now they love him and hate him because they thought they were going to get uplifted to be the godchild. They thought he was going to be the hero, like the Batman that would endlessly fight crime for them.
What? The Batman that would endlessly fight.
And so now they hate him because he violated their understanding of reality. They thought they were living in a Marvel comic book. And because it turns out that he wasn't Batman or Iron Man or Captain America, they now resent him for that.
Holy shit, he is so obsessed with comic books. It's insanity. He talks about comic books more than Beckloff did.
And so a huge part of where all of this comes from... Oh! Okay, I get what Fleekun was saying now. Sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce her name, man. Flea Karen. So yeah, the series Californication is, yeah, that's a perfect example of one of these fantasies, right? Where Hank Moody, he's an author living in LA, wrote a bestseller, you know, and basically him trying to deal with his daughter and his ex-wife, and every single woman he meets wants to have sex with him. And yet he's also still like a blue pill fantasy. And one of the big drama of the first 3 seasons is that a 17-year-old slept with him on false pretenses, and now they're trying to charge him for being a pedophile. But at the end of it, he never says, this is a corrupt system. No, he's still blue pill. He still says women are innocent and it's all my fault. And then he screws every single woman he meets. It's so obviously a fantasy of a gamma male.
Sounds like how you view your life.
There are guys that can sleep with pretty much any woman they want.
Like you.
They don't act like Frank or Hank Moody.
They act
Hank
like
Moody is the gamma fantasy of an alpha male. Or Sigma, or whatever. Yeah, gamma fantasy.
Or Sigma is just one of them. Like me. My flaw is I'm too good with women.
Now, what a lot of this boils down to is how the internet disconnects us from reality.
Yeah.
So if we look at what these gammas are doing, right, and we're just going to stick to the Vox Day situation, right, because I don't want to talk about I've been through this. This is why I know exactly what's going on, is because I've been through the exact same frickin' thing more than once. But it's a lot easier to talk about somebody else than to talk about me. Guys in the comments, please don't speculate about my personal thing either. Doesn't matter. This is a widespread phenomenon, is what I'm getting at. In fact, I will bet that it's happened to a few of you as well. Not quite as drastic because you're at least partially in the real world. I mean, I say partially because everybody's watching these stupid Star Wars and Marvel and like all this bullshit.
Why is he obsessed with Marvel?
By the way, when I said years ago that the Marvel movies are fundamentally a Gnostic universe, when I said that, this is exactly what I meant, because Gnostic reality is solipsistic reality. I reject your truth and replace it with my own. It's gamma male reality. And yeah, it leads to this exact sort of thinking. So, what these gamma males are up to, these accusations that they're loving, not just the accusations, but just the attitude, the snarky, haughty attitude of these gammas.
You might
if they tried to do this in real life, they would get punched in the face. But on the internet, they can get away with it. Because you can't punch somebody through a screen.
That's fucking deep. Deep as a pile of shit.
So what happens is these gammas, so in their real life, they suck. They're nerds. They just suck. But then they go on the internet and they get their little mob of losers together and they go mob somebody with it.
Like, I really shouldn't go there, but is Beckloff... Sorry, does Aurini have, like, sexual fantasies about Beckloff? Because he's obsessed with him. Like, this is legitimately creepy. Like, he just keeps talking about it. Like, constantly. This, like, he did an 8-hour fucking stream talking about how he's better than Beckloff.
And 99% of the time, like, they are breaking the law. Okay, spreading malicious defamation is illegal. Okay, it's always been illegal. This is not new. This is not the internet cyber police. This is the real world police. It's illegal. But 99% of the time, they get away with it because most people can't afford a lawyer.
Like how they made fun of me.
Well, this time, Vox Day can afford a lawyer.
Uh-oh.
So, Deus Volt to Vox Day. I hope he absolutely crushes all these creeps and weenies. Crow's Teeth says, people have become lost in the oversaturation of escapism. It's got to the point where people have forgotten how enjoyable real life can be. Oh, and that's just it, man. It's like when you are dealing with this crap, you just want to go out and enjoy life. You just want to be doing your thing. And now you've got this mob of frickin' losers on the internet that are just trying to kick up dirt, just trying to make trouble for you because their lives are so empty and vapid that screwing with yours is all they can find fun in.
Which is why you're doing like a 10-hour, like a 7-hour long stream bitching about how Beckloff was mean to you.
Now, unpopular part. We are all a little bit responsible for this.
Except for me.
Way back in my 20s. Way back before, the internet was the internet.
Way back when I was going to Woodstock and smoking pot.
Me and my buddies decided that we were going to be really edgy by telling racist jokes.
Uh-huh.
And so we were being really edgy. We were being really cool. No, we weren't being racist. We weren't going to find people of other ethnicities to bully them or insult them. We were just being edgy, right? Just amongst ourselves, we were being edgy. Well, and then the one guy in our circle of friends
Became a school shooter?
the guy that was pretty low status,
Became a school shooter?
wound up becoming racist over the whole thing. Wound up basing his self-identity on hating other groups. We're not talking about, we're talking 20 years back, okay, guys?
And that's like a problem? Why? I don't understand why that's a problem. Maybe someone in the chat can explain that to me.
We're not talking about principled nationalistic feelings or opinions on it. No. It's like, even though I suck, at least I'm not that group over there because they suck even more than me. What I'm saying is that we set a really bad example and excused this guy's bad behavior. We acted like mouthy little shits. Running around telling dead babies jokes, it's not edgy, you're just being a mouthy little shit. You're just telling dead baby jokes to get a rise out of people.
Okay, to be fair, like, dead baby jokes aren't funny. They're disgusting.
And then somebody has an abortion. So earlier I was defending Medicare, right? Like he actually does really, despite his snarky, jovial tone, he is actually quite fair. He does not engage in libel or defamation. He engages in accurate reporting. But because he's playing Mr. Internet Troll, because he adopts this persona, a lot of the people, some of the people that watch him, now think it's okay to swat Owen Benjamin's family, because they watch Medicare. Because Owen Benjamin got into such a vitriolic argument with
Okay, I
Nick
can't take this
Fuentes.
shit anymore. Okay, let's watch him on with the guy who says the Bible should have been destroyed. That should be fun. No, I don't want to watch Magic the Gathering. That would be too interesting. Okay, so remember Rhodesia. Let's watch.
Pay does not reflect that. It's almost fish here already. Or maybe...
Oh, wow.
Maybe he was here last week. Or yesterday, I should say. I am joined by Laramie Hirsch. This is his first time going online with his voice. How are you doing, Laramie?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Laramie, I wish
Not
the
too
Catholic
bad.
Church had
Looking
destroyed the
forward to church
Bible.
tomorrow. So probably right to bed after this live stream.
Yeah.
And as usual, gonna wait for people to show up. Just kind of, what's on your mind aside from what we're going to be talking about on the live stream?
Well, we were just talking about China and the coronavirus. So, you were just mentioning some interesting news about. What were you saying? Something about drones?
Yeah.
Pig
so
flu?
I'm reading this
This is gonna get like super fucking boomer like super fast.
article on uns.com. Was the 2020 coronavirus an engineered biological attack on China by America? Now, there's no proof of this, but the article is just bringing up coincidences. And now, here's the really interesting thing. Last March, somebody was using drones to dump a pig flu on pig farmers all over China.
This is like the shittiest. Like, this isn't even Alex Jones tier conspiracy. This is like the shittiest conspiracy theories I can think
We
of.
didn't hear about this in the Western media. It happened, but we did not hear about it. And so, it's kind of like, who would have a motivation to do that?
Okay,
Who would
I'll
want to
bring up
crash
the article.
pork
I actually
industry?
got somebody from Beckloff's server. To
Everybody
send
was
me
being
the-
hit by it.
Yeah.
Okay, well-
I wonder if they're perhaps.
One second, let me just bring this up. Okay, so this was an article he wrote for his like website called "Christianity Survives Without the Bible." Without the Bible, Christianity would survive. Protestantism would die, though. This piece is a response to how others wanted me to expand on what I meant when I said the following last December. Then again, that's just me. I'm the kind of guy who thinks the Bible should have been kept locked up or should have been destroyed. So there you are. What is it again? Let's see here. And even the Catholic Church on earth could survive without scriptures if need be. But our church would survive and probably thrive amidst such persecution. Protestants, on the other hand, would convert to Islam. Let's see here. Yeah, so.
Experimenting with all of these diseases and outbreaks. I wonder if that's what this coronavirus is. If
I
it's
mean, he
perhaps some
tries
sort
to
of a
like.
grand experiment.
He tries to walk it back, like later. But like, I don't know. He's obsessed with he just talks about like deifying the book and shit. Like I don't fucking know. He's just a weirdo.
I mean, China has ample population to experiment with, so I don't know.
I'll tell you the really interesting thing about it is, or the notable thing, the numbers don't add up. Right? Like it's hitting China so hard, and we're seeing very little spread anywhere else. Not even in Africa, where you would expect there to be a really bad outbreak.
Why?
Lack of hygiene, etc. And so, honestly, I'm wondering if it actually is the coronavirus that's causing all of this. I don't know. Things are just really, really weird right now, aren't they?
I've seen some video on Twitter where, some Chinese people are being taken away out of their apartments, and it looks like they're just being wrangled up to be taken away, and they'll never return again. Are they? What are they doing with these people? That kind of concerns me.
Yeah, I am. It is concerning. Hey, we got some people here, guys. How is the audio? Could somebody in the comments tell me? Like, Laramie, say something.
They say it like they're fucking geniuses for figuring this out.
Testing 1 2 3. Do you hear me, guys?
I want to make sure that he and I are outputting at the same level. It looks to me like they are, but guys, in the chat, tell me if there's any, like if he's too loud or he's too quiet. We can adjust that. Loud and clear, says Hell's Harbinger. Awesome. All right, so we are 3 minutes in. Let's jump into the stream itself. So guys, I just want to point out a few things that are happening in the world right now.
Okay.
First of all, we got yet another billionaire accused of being a pedophile, Peter Nygaard. Epstein did not kill himself. We have spirit cooking being done by the Democrats. We have trans kids being promoted.
Oh, right, we're going to get to this. This is where he says that Beckloff was funded by Epstein. This is going to be fucking amazing.
Throughout all the school systems. Our livelihoods are being destroyed. The cost of living goes up every year, and pay does not reflect that. It's almost impossible to have a marriage with both of you having an income. This society is on the ropes, and there's people actively trying to destroy us. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of all that, what does the right get up to? The right engages in cannibalism. Doesn't it, Laramie?
Yes. Circular firing squad, purity spiraling, cannibalism.
So the latest instance of this is what we're going to be discussing, is Nick Fuentes. Now, listen, I'm not exactly a huge Fuentes fan. Alright, he kind of gets on my nerves.
Why?
But I pretty much agree with his politics. He's pro-survival, and he's organizing people. He disrupted the fake conservatives at what was it?
Turning Point USA.
Yeah, Turning Point. He is setting up America First groups on campuses. He is out there in the trenches doing work. And apparently the whole lolly socks thing,
I have an explanation for that.
But he was...
I have
Please do.
Yeah, he had a video. I think it was this week. Of course, his channel is down on YouTube, but maybe it's on D Live. I don't know. But he was trying to explain to himself about how he has to reach out to different groups and different audiences. So
Fuentes got kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah, before his deplatforming, he was discussing how he talked to a wide range of people to avoid becoming an echo chamber. And so that's why he's reaching out to lolly socks and other really weird people, because if he doesn't, then he's just insular. So that's what he's trying to avoid.
Old man Aurini doesn't approve of the Zoomer antics, but whatever. The guy's actually doing stuff. And this week, he got deplatformed because J.F. Garepi flagged his videos.
It does seem like Garepi did. I mean, he was joking about it, and then after it happened, Garepi was saying, "Oh, I was just kind of joking. I wouldn't even know how to get a hold of Antifa people to make this happen."
You know my good friend Torellian. By the way, he's put up some more videos about the Holy Roman Empire. He's French Canadian, and he really fucking hates other French Canadians because they're just fucking backstabbing cocksuckers.
He's suspect now.
He was bragging about doing it. After it happened, he was bragging that he did it. And, Nick is smug. He's kind of annoying. But why are we attacking him? With everything that is going on, why are people on the right attacking him?
I find that usually, like, if we're on the right, it's not enough to just say, I disagree with you, and then just walk away and, let them have their own lane, their own space, and just block them or don't listen to them. No. It's, I disagree with you, and now I'm going to destroy you because I can. And why not? I'm now going to insult you and harm you and...
like what Beckloff did to me.
Defame you and rip you up as much as I can. I can't just disagree with you. I can't just agree to disagree. No. There's 10 people in a room. Let's get 9 of them against the 1.
And listen, I've had this happen to me twice, right? I've had groups of people that should have been my allies turn on me for no productive reason, just because they are nasty pieces of work. And they don't just turn on you. They go and try and agitate to get more people to turn on you. The last one was trying to recruit people into the hate mob. It's pathetic.
You hear that? Beckloff was trying to like had a hate mob.
And there was a comment on Vox Day's blog, and the commenter wrote, "Now watch 90% of the people on this site and other right-leaning sites tear Nick Fuentes down. 6% of people stay completely apathetic, and 4% support him more because if he's been kicked off of YouTube, he's clearly doing something effective and pissing off the evil that runs the company. Pull together, people, and stop shipping out anyone who is on the right but isn't your exact flavor of ice cream. It's time to pick a side, truth or beauty or them. Nick is on the side of truth and beauty. So are we. Support the people you want to see more of. Send the guy an email of support. Spread his work to your friends. Support the cause."
Spread the word, guys. Spread the word of my
And he's
quality
right.
content.
He's right. People are going to turn on Nick Fuentes. Unless Nick Fuentes manages to do some PR maneuver, they're going to turn on him.
An epic maneuver?
I mean, it doesn't help that Fuentes also likes to jab at other people on the right. I will say that. I mean, I've only just now started paying attention to the guy. And then boom, he's just deplatformed from YouTube. So that's frustrating to me. But I think that this Groyper phenomenon that's surrounding him is just a manifestation of more of this spirit of let's put God first and then country, you know. It's not just pure political or let's just base all of our decisions upon race, ethnicity. It's, you know, these people are taking religion into account as well. But the style, the tactics, I would not implement that kind of behavior. No.
You know what? The people that are going after him, they've got this aspect to them that it reminds me of the face of somebody that likes to torture insects.
Reminds me of Becklaw.
Right? They've just got this cruelty to them.
Like Becklaw.
They just want to hurt other people.
Like Becklaw.
And you know what the sad thing is? The audience. The audience that's going to turn on Nick, it's just an audience that loves drama. That's what the online thing has become. Nothing but people that want to watch.
Beckloff has canceled his show. He's working on something called Land Shark, which I think is like a review show or something. But yeah, he's not going to be around anytime soon. He's kind of... I don't think he's not left the internet, but he's done with his radio show.
Watch bum fights, where two people on the right kick each other in the nuts while we get deplatformed, and, you know, big tech pushes a sexual perversion and a hardcore communist agenda.
Yeah, I really like what you said the other day. You're pointing to the packages of the cigarettes that you smoke. You got two different brands, and they both look the same. And you said they're taking away everything that we love because they hate us. That's what, and that's so true. Look at what's happening with Hollywood movies. I saw Joaquin Phoenix go up for, I guess, the Oscars to accept an award for the Joker, and he's treating everyone in the room, all the Hollywood stars, with reverence and honor. And he says, "Now I want to talk about the real victims. Is it us, the audience? No, it's animals. It's the animals that we cook." And they just break.
How fucking boomerish is this? This is like the most boomerish thing I've ever seen.
People are despised by the elites. We're hated by the establishment. And the right sees this. We realize it. And, you know, how do we behave? How do we fight? How do we organize with each other? We just, we do what we've been doing. We'll have some people who try to build something, try to build a sandcastle, and someone comes and kicks it over, you know? Mm-hmm. We try to construct some kind of shelter from the storm, but it gets blown over, you know, by our own people.
Yeah, let me explain the title of the stream. I named the stream Remember Rhodesia, because Rhodesia was one of the first European countries that the United Nations decided to go after. And there was quite...
European countries? I think he means European colonies. At least I hope he does. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But then again, I never do anyways, so... whatever.
A struggle that Free Rhodesia tried to survive, and they did for years despite being completely isolated by the rest of the world. And the reason I bring it up is because of what South Africa did. South Africa, which actually had a far more prejudiced regime, right? They very much treated the blacks as second-class citizens. They had far more rights in Rhodesia, and they were slowly being introduced into governance. But South Africa wanted to win points. And so the UN came and sucked up to South Africa and said, hey, you know what, we'll leave you alone if you help us go after Rhodesia. And so South Africa, the cowards, went after Rhodesia along with the rest of the world, only for the rest of the world to then turn on South Africa and promote a genocidal maniac named Nelson Mandela into power. So as bad as the South African genocide is right now, the people that were leading it, the cowards that were leading it, it's kind of what they have coming to them. Not the citizens, but the leadership.
And
I love the go back to Europe thing. It's like, go back to Europe. So you're saying if we go back to Europe, Europe could be for us? No, Europe would still be for everybody. You just have to go back to Europe.
I'll add, the right has what's coming to it. I mean, if we're going to behave this way, do we even deserve the right to platforms, the right to speech? Look at how we act, how we behave. You know? I mean,
when people behave
I've seen many...
Listen, if the cowards in South Africa deserve what came to them, then if this is how the rights could behave, what does the right deserve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, getting what we deserve means that, you know, our children and grandchildren suffer, you know?
God, I need to pay attention to the dog for a second. Cover me.
This is like the most fucking boomer shit ever.
Yeah. So, anyway, okay. I want the right to have some speech, some free speech. I want us to be able to say what we have to say. I want us to be able to get onto Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and to talk about what we want to talk about and link to the websites that we want to read and not get banned or blocked. You know, I despise how I get on YouTube and I watch, I'll watch Vox Day and I'll see YouTube like cut out parts of what he's talking about just to screw with him. You know, and it's really awful. And I don't like seeing that. But if we're going to continue to behave this way, if we keep cannibalizing
just like
each other,
autistically
I mean, do we really even deserve to have the ability to
like
to speak
Aurini's
the way
gone, but
we
he's
have been?
just continuing to ramble.
I mean, do we need some sort of chastisement to just get our act together, or are we always going to be wandering in the desert like this? I don't know.
Well, here's an interesting tidbit too. J.F. Garepi, he received $25,000 from Jeffrey Epstein several years ago. Yeah, he's on the payroll.
By Epstein.
That's another thing.
Really? JF was on the payroll from Epstein? Okay.
Guys, are the right is absolutely chock full of people that are on the payroll. Or if they're not on the payroll, oh god, I guarantee, like, listen, we know what they do. They try and subvert forums, they try and subvert comment sections, and a lot of the people, they're not on the payroll because they're too stupid to get paid, but they have been activated by some agent that was just there. I would not be surprised if the last blow up I had, if that was instigated by an outside party. That would not surprise me at all.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
And outside, so Jeremy Epstein. So the blow up against Aurini was instigated by billionaire leftists, including Jeffrey Epstein, specifically to bring Aurini down. So I guess Beckloff is being paid by like international pedos or something.
But I'll tell you one thing: Spencer is not of the right. He's a globalist. He wants a new Babel. He wants, I don't know, a super United Nations run by white people. He's leftist. He's very leftist, and he's suspect. People have talked about him being suspect of being on the payroll and taking the ticket. And he gets his free lunches, and he's frequently talking to Grippy. I don't know. Are they in cahoots because they're working for the same people, or am I sounding paranoid? I don't know.
If he's not on the payroll, he's kept around because he's a useful boogeyman.
Yeah.
If this is how people... And you know what? I'll tell you who I ultimately blame on this, is the audience.
Isn't this like the most fucking boomer shit ever? Like, this is real boomer hours. This is from 7 days ago, by the way. This isn't from 2016.
Right? The audience that would happily turn on Nick. Not you guys. Not the small number of you guys listening to this. But the vast majority of these audiences, these are just people hungry for drama. They're hungry for blood. And quite frankly, these people, they deserve what they're going to get.
Uh-huh.
They are going to get that leftist tyranny because of the way they act, and they deserve it. The thing is that we need to make sure that we aren't around them when it happens.
Yeah, if possible. I mean, this whole, I don't know, this backstabbing culture on the right. It's the way we are. It's I don't know. It serves some sort of a narcissistic catharsis. People like to hear about it. Like, ooh, scandal. Let's hear about this today.
You know what? They're Hershon on Twitter, because we were tweeting about this. And of course, some creep that's just been lurking around obsessing over me jumped in and accused me of obsessing.
Beckloff. It's always Beckloff.
But, Hershon commented, and this is bang on. If this backstabbing false Christianity dividing it's this backstabbing false Christianity dividing is why we lose. There is no winning. Even if all of Trump's enemies are judged and jailed, you still have a people, even if they came out of the church service, would treat their fellow man like trash.
Like Beckloff.
Yeah. Even if they're...
Okay, let's just take a poll. How much of this stream is just him hating Beckloff? Like, how much of this is just him complaining about it?
Was no left. We are worse than the left. You can't organize these people. They're garbage.
Yeah.
I'm not like that, and that's why I should be the one running society.
And what's worse is, let us suppose you do try to just do your own thing. Just try to do your own fun thing and not harm anybody, and you're just over here in your corner, you're staying in your lane, you just want your thing. That doesn't mean that people are going to leave you alone. People will come at you and mess with you just because they can. There's no hiding. If you try to do something, it will attract people who want to kick it down.
Yeah. You've got creepy Gamma going after you. We're not going to mention his name. But yeah, obsessing over you for no reason.
Oh.
And he says he's a Catholic.
Yeah, I won't talk about that one. But for sure, I have experienced such things. And, I try to not engage, not provoke for now. That's my,
No, okay, so Teutonic Warrior, Aurini is at least theoretically Catholic. He's not just, Catholic. He really, really hates Protestants. Really hates them.
Been my attitude, because I don't have time. This is all a hobby. For me, it's all an outlet. I'm not really trying to start anything or kick any sand, at least not in open public circles. Perhaps in private circles, I'll argue with people, but I like to keep arguments private if I can.
Well, and these people, they just aren't socialized. They're not... honest to God, if you behave the way these people behave, if you behaved like this in real life, you'd get your ass handed to you. Or you ought to. I don't know if you will today.
You speak from
Maybe people are too
experience.
weak.
It's happened to you, I guess.
I think that the technology medium causes people to, I don't know, disassociate from reality and social reality. You know, they just plug into a device or get on the computer, and they think that they can say anything without any kind of recourse, and so they do. And it bleeds into meat space. It bleeds into reality. You see people on their phones all the time looking down, you know, permanently shaping their spines. And they're learning to drag that poor civic behavior into real life so that people are actually becoming ruder in real life as well. So, I mean, I love technology. I'm a fan of technology. I love robots. I love space. I love the internet. I love these things, but I mean, you got to be responsible with this stuff. You got to be able to know how to handle it, like liquor.
Yeah, and they handle it irresponsibly, and I get it. You know, you're.
Top 10 Tech says, why does Aurini talk about the USA in terms of we and us? Isn't he Canadian? Yeah, but he LARPs everything.
A bad mood. You want to mouth off and tell
he thinks,
a stranger to go F
he
themselves.
He talks about like conservatives being like, the Republicans being like a party he's going to vote for.
Right? We all have that tendency, but you know what? Some of us try and, some of us try and act like adults. Whereas these people, they just wildly indulge in it. And then they hide behind the excuse that it's just bants. You know, just bants led to me getting somebody harassing me at my last job. Just bants, though.
That wasn't actually Beckloff. That was some other guy.
Just bants. Stop crying about it. You know, bants got me kicked off of YouTube. Bants got Fuente.
Kami Catcher, you're 100% right, and that applies for me as well.
Kicked off of YouTube. It's
Now, and when you say bants, could you just define what that means for
bants? See, bants would be teasing me about being bald, right? These
bantering, bants. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're just bantering, man. We're just bantering. We're just joking on the internet.
I wrote about this for Culture Wars. I think it was last year.
Yep.
The Mike Enoch style of I don't know, just the old jerky boys humor of just, you know, messing with people to get a rise out of them.
Yeah, but that's just like what guys do. Like, if you ever see me on like SERP streams, I'm like making fun of him in the chat, and he's calling me like the F word espion. Like, guys who are friends just do that. They just call each other the F word. They just like give each other a hard time, and it's not serious. It's just something dudes do. Like,
you know, oh, it's all just good fun. We're just screwing with you, you know.
Yeah, but guys,
why are you taking this so seriously? We're only defaming you.
It is just absolutely toxic, and it does lead to real world consequences. Right? Everybody wants to be Borat. Right? Hey, what did that movie? Borat was a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah, it was shit. I hated
Borat harmed several people's lives. It was anti-American and subversive. It was garbage. And these people all admire Borat.
They do? I don't. I think he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I never even bothered to see that guy's movies.
Yeah, because they're shit.
He's a creep. He's an absolute creep that manipulates.
Then he took Isla Fisher, and Isla Fisher is
manipulates people. And
he thinks we should all be deplatformed. He thinks we should all have our speech taken away, and we should all get rounded up and re-educated for whatever reason, because we don't agree with the SPLC or some such thing.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck does Sacha Baron Cohen?
I'll tell you one of the most frustrating parts of it is the subjective reality that these people descend into. Right? So because first they get the mob, and then the mob believes whatever they want to believe. And you can show them all the evidence. You can tell them what happened. It doesn't matter. Evidence will not change their thought process. They are not amenable to reason.
Yeah. I used to think that I could convince people through if-then arguments, but I've learned my lesson. People respond to rhetoric. People dish out rhetoric. They're emotional creatures. Dialectic versus rhetoric. Speaking dialectic to people, it's just not going to happen.
If that arguments, what the fuck is what the fuck is an if then argument? Is that like some fucking coding thing? Is it like I don't fucking know.
No, we've got they're children. They're irresponsible. Listen, part of the reason that China implemented the Sesame credit thing was because Chinese are incredibly antisocial. They are incredibly rude to one another, disrespectful. They scam people all the time. And this is largely...
The destruction of Confucianism, really screwed China. China, I would imagine, the Chinese, I imagine, used to be much better people before communism.
Due to the Maoist communist revolution destroying all culture. But the fact of the matter is that it's really hard to run a nation when your citizens are stabbing each other in the back all the time. Mm-hmm. And ergo, part of the reason they instituted Sesame credit was just to get people to behave in a civilized manner. And these people, these so-called warriors of the right, these people are behaving exactly like that. They're behaving like uncivilized brutes. And they're demanding that they be controlled. If you can't control yourself, you're demanding that the universe control you.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody has...
As I said, I think China was probably much better before the Cultural Revolution.
Warranted the Chinese social credit system, it is, the people of the United States, or maybe Canada, or maybe the people of North America. I don't know.
Wow, that's pretty fucking edgy. We should introduce the social credit system in the U.S. as a way to punish people.
But us. I mean, the way we're all behaving, it's just, and we have no religion for our society to fall back upon. We don't have any axioms upon which to build any kind of a structured, socially cohesive system. So, a godless social credit system will have to keep you in line, like cattle.
That's how they're acting. It is absolutely disgraceful the way they behave.
Didn't he just spend all this time ranting about how we shouldn't have a circular firing squad, and he's saying that the Chinese government should gas these people?
So, but and again, Fuentes, I know that he has riled some feathers. I know he's said a few things that he shouldn't, and a lot of people think he's smug and this, that, and the other, and that's understandable. So my criticism is going to everyone, really. Maybe even myself. I don't know, but
I will say I approve of how Vox is handling it.
Of course, he's obsessed with Vox.
Fuentes got it. I don't know exactly what happened. Fuentes said something that upset Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin took it completely blew it up to 11, and a huge internet beef resulted. But Vox Day isn't gloating about this. He's not saying it's a good thing that he got taken down. He recognizes, even though he does, and Vox is a spiteful SOB.
Like you.
But nonetheless, he's not piling on.
Yeah, in fact, Vox is trying to be...
Okay, this is about as much of this as I can take. I'm starting to get tired. So, I just like to end this. Nikki Blue, I think, makes a really good point. DSP should run for governor of Washington. he can drain the swamp and make us all get along. Maybe he can steal from the treasury, and that's how he's finally going to be able to pay his bills. I personally endorse DSP for the governor of Washington State. And I endorse Aurini for Supreme Guardian of the Universe. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Lots more quality